Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Art Battle Chicago City Championship. We have 12 absolutely incredible artists who have earned their way into the championship tonight, and they are vying for a spot to represent Chicago in the U.S. National Championship coming up on April 1st in Daytona Beach. So we have a very exciting night of live competitive painting about to happen, and we are just getting ready for round number one.
3, 2, 1, starts!
All right, we have 20 minutes officially on the clock for round number one of Art Battle Chicago City Championship. This is a very, very exciting night for these artists because they are vying for a spot to represent Chicago in the U.S. National Championship. So we will have two qualifying rounds with 6 artists in each round, and the top 2 artists, as voted by the audience from each round, will move forward into a 4-artist final showdown and will paint again. The winner of that final showdown will move on to represent Chicago in the U.S. Nationals. So right now we are looking at Palos, who is our defending Chicago champion. He was the winning artist of the championship for Chicago last year and represented at the 2022 U.S. Nationals. So very happy to have him back defending his title. And here we are with Trevisa, who was our May winner in Chicago. And we can see that Trevisa is starting in the lower quadrant of the canvas. And looks like she is going for starting off with a portrait. We have some lips emerging, the impression of a nose, and we can see that she's working in, I think, pencil right now and getting looser as she's moving upward in the drawing, which I think is really cool. I like how Teresa surprises us with different blending techniques. She likes to kind of keep some areas tighter and then create other areas that are more expressionist. So always really love watching Trevisa paint. It's something that is such a treat about the championship events as we do them across the country is that we have seen all of these artists paint before. We've seen them winning events. We've seen them going into final rounds in the regular season events. And these guys have become fan favorites, so everyone is familiar with them, and it's just amazing to get the opportunity to see them do what they do best at this championship level. Here we are with Kyla Hawkins, and Kyla is looking like she's starting off with some marker work here, and potentially a... Ooh, I think this is turning into a big sweater. This is going to be a big graphic sweater. I'm loving the energy of this piece already. We have so much attitude in the pose of the character. And we can see that Kyla has this circle that is coming behind the character there. And I think that that's a really great way already to take up that space of the composition. Here we are moving over to Julie Kukreja, and Julie is just such a joy to watch paint. She is such an incredibly skilled realist artist. My jaw was on the floor when I first saw Julie painting, and when we saw her win her event a few months ago, it was just a sight to behold. She really has such a wonderful way of playing with light and shadow. And we can see that she's working on kind of a dual animal portrait right now. I think that we have potentially a mama lion kissing a little lion cub there. So already getting into establishing kind of the emotional quality of the work. Making our way around the easels to Tatiana Howard. And Tatiana is another audience favorite and a personal favorite of mine, actually, because I just love the way that she brings these concepts to life. They're always a little bit strange and surreal, and she brings this incredible illustrative flair with this very this signature line work, and we'll start to see that as this piece progresses. Right now, we're seeing that Tatiana is kind of laying out the groundwork of her piece, still in quite an abstracted fashion. We're not totally sure what it is yet, so looking forward to seeing how that continues to emerge. Palos. You can tell why he's the champ, man. Why he is the defending champion for Chicago. He has so much done on his canvas already in just about 5 minutes. And he did kind of the signature move that we often see him do, where he's rubbing the paint onto the canvas with this rag, and it gives this really texturally interesting uh, mode of applying the paint. It gets these moments of diffusion and saturation where he chooses to leave it. And it's just a really interesting way of painting. And he is the only artist in the country that I've seen apply that technique to this kind of contemporary style. He's often doing landscape works that are in this super strange color palette that is very vibrant and the opposite of what you would find in nature. And that is something that helps bring his work into that kind of contemporary realm. And here we are with Danielle Dixterhouse. And Danielle is our most recent winner, actually, which is just so much fun. She won only a few weeks ago in the last qualifying event of the season. So she is our latest addition to the Chicago Championship. And we can tell that she's taking it very seriously. In just about 6.5 minutes, she has so much of her piece established. We've got this nighttime scene of a waterfall cascading into this environment. And we can see that she's starting to put in some trees now. And just look at how rapid the brushwork is there. Moving over to Trevisa now. And we can see that Trevisa is really playing a lot with scale and mixing all of these different features. And so we're getting something that is portrait based and figurative, but that is also moving into this kind of abstracted space. So almost giving me a little bit of like a cubist vibe going on. But we're almost entirely in graphite at this point. I would love to see Trevisa layering on some of those paint colors. We can see in the background that she has a case full of paint. So I'm sure that she is managing her time to get to that point of applying paint onto this piece as well. Oh my gosh. Is this a Missy Elliott portrait? That is so fun. I am absolutely loving this. So iconic. And what a great execution so far as well from Kyla. We can see that she's really capturing the shine on Missy Elliott's chest right now as well with that signature super shiny puffed up black dress. Wow. Just loving that we're getting the opportunity to witness this pop culture moment being captured by Kyla here. This piece is really, really cool. And in just a few simple representations at this point, we've really come to understand what this moment is. And so Kyla has really distilled back with Julie here. And something that I love about this piece and that I didn't quite notice the first time that we came around to it is that Julie actually toned out her canvas with this kind of rusty brown color and then put blue and her yellow tones of this cheetah and cheetah cub over top. So around the edges of our animals here, we're getting this rusty red color just kind of creeping through a little bit. And it's giving it this painterly flair and warmth that I'm just really loving, especially as it's contrasted against the blue background. And looking at Tatiana's piece now, and I feel like we are starting to see the emergence of a tiger. That is a character that Tatiana often revisits and something that she executes so well. And so right now we're seeing Tatiana kind of establishing all of these shapes with her colors, and then We're just getting that moment where she's starting to play with the black line work and adding that over top of the colors that she's already established and those shapes. And the more that she adds in these illustrative lines, the more this piece is going to come together. Back with Palos here, and the level of depth that he's able to achieve in such a quick amount of time. Like this is an 11 and a half minute painting is just so stunning to me. And I really love the way that Palos always uses this very saturated, contrasting color palette of these warm and cool colors. So we have a lot of heat coming together from the red, that pinkish red that he's using, and then adding in all of these blue pieces into it for the trees and that kind of forest that is existing in the background. I I just I'm always floored by his ability to communicate space. And we can see that he is now going in with some brushwork. So he's kind of established a lot of the softer pieces that he wanted to get, and that diffusion that he was initially looking to capture, and is now layering over top with the sharpness that he wants for the texture of the trees and the grass. Over here with Danielle, and Danielle has added some really interesting elements into this piece with the outline of the black around where she's painted with just the blue. It really almost looks like she's torn this painting out of a book and then pasted it onto the canvas. And Danielle really enjoys playing with uh, those kind of 3D effect elements in her event that she won. She was contrasting some rendered elements with more simplified black and white work. And we can see that she's starting to bring some of those stylistic elements in there as well. So back with Teresa, and Teresa has given us our wish with the paint application here, and we have this hot pink color that is just contrasting so nicely all of the kind of soft blends that she's got going on with the graphite drawing. And again, we have this really interesting shape that is around the main component of the composition. And so we have these figurative elements, and the addition of this abstracted piece being the outline is just so cool and unexpected. And we're starting to see Teresa adding in little pops of color as well. I think we're getting a little bit of green in the mix now, too. Back over here with Kyla Hawkins. And Kyla's Missy Elliott piece just continues to come together so well. I think that Kyla is doing such a fantastic job at time management in in this art battle piece, because she did such a great job of establishing the initial drawing that really all that she had to do was go in over top of that and just fill in her elements. And she's doing that in this very clean way, and everything is just really coming together. And we're entering into our final 5 minutes of the first round of the Art Battle Chicago City Championship. So now is the time to get voting. Register to vote at the link that is on your screen, artbattle.com/AB2437. Two of these artists from this round and two artists from our next qualifying round will move forward into the final, and you will help us decide. So as you're witnessing all of these paintings, not only should you be thinking about the aesthetic quality and the piece that you're most drawn to, but also think about the performance of the artist and who you want to see paint again, because they could be moving forward into that final round where they will tackle another canvas with 30 minutes on the clock. I'm loving this tender moment from Julie here with our mama cheetah giving a kiss to the cheetah cub. This is just such a fun, tender little moment, and a really wonderfully executed piece. We have Such a great contrast of tones here. We've got the background feels very full and painterly, but without competing with our foreground characters here. We have really lovely texture going on in the fur as well. And looks like we have just been joined on the stream by none other than Art Battle co-founder Chris Pemberton. Chris, we have 3 minutes left in our first round of the Chicago City Championship, and we've got some really great pieces on the easels.
Fantastic. I'm glad I was able to get in here before the end of the first round to see these pieces. This championship is just going to be off the hook here tonight. Best painters from the last year, all trying to get into the national championship.
And they are absolutely painting their hearts out. Everyone has really brought it with their skills tonight so far.
Fantastic. I mean, we saw such an amazing show go down last night in New York. I would expect no less from Chicago tonight.
I'm loving checking out Tatiana's piece here and her strange tiger. I've seen her paint a tiger before, but it always has this kind of conceptual edge where she's doing something a little bit strange with it. And that's something that I always love seeing in her work.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the last time that we saw her, she was doing some weirdly disfigured animals as well.
Yeah, she did the Year of the Rabbit piece when I think that was her event that she won in January.
Yeah, that was a great piece in the final round. And anyway, she's no stranger to the animal kingdom, and her pieces always have that sort of whimsical, sort of like, am I stoned? What's going on here?
Totally. And this piece from Palos, I want to see your reaction. I want to hear it.
Well, I mean, he's just an absolute master and went to the national championships last year for very good reason. Every time he paints, it's just an absolutely beautiful piece. And no exception here tonight. Really well done, and definitely a contender once again.
And I think that we're seeing him going in with maybe a little bit of gold puffy paint.
Oh, yes.
Isn't that so cool? It's giving kind of like kintsugi vibes, like the gold repaired Japanese pottery.
Good call, Morgan. Yeah.
I'm so in love with it. It's so hard to contain our excitement and just happiness for these artists as they're kind of realizing their visions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. These pieces are planned out by these artists. They want to get to the national championship. They know they're going up against other winners. So everyone's bringing their A game, has a plan, and are executing.
And we are entering into our final moments here. And we can just get a little bit of a peek over at Danielle Dixterhouse, who is our latest winner. She won just last month in Chicago, and some really cool concept work coming from her as well.
Really good. I love this piece. It is so cool. We just keep seeing new creative, crazy good works in new styles. It's a really exciting time.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Brushes down, brushes down. Let's get it up in this I love that. We are going to take a brief intermission. We are going to get these paintings transferred over to these showcasing easels. I don't know why I'm running out of words, you know what I'm saying? But we are going to be back with the performances in a round 2 and a round. Tonight is just starting, guys. I'm so excited to give some space with y'all.
We are just getting ready to start our second round of the Art Battle Chicago City Championships. We have 6 more artists stepping up to the easels and they will be tackling these blank canvases in only 20 minutes to vie for your votes and a chance to make it to the final round. So we have champions, winners, and all-stars from this Chicago season, and these guys will be painting their hearts out in just a few minutes.
Actually, if you're really doing the most, you can go like walk around. Are you cool with that? Thank you.
All right, and we are off for our second round of the Art Battle Chicago City Championships. I am so excited to see what these guys throw down. My name is Morgan Booth, and I am here with Art Battle co-founder Chris Pemberton. Hey, Chris.
Good evening, Morgan. Hello, everyone. We are at the Chicago Championships, and the art is going to be absolutely amazing tonight as all these artists try to get into the national championship happening in April in Florida.
So exciting.
Yeah, so great. Are we missing an artist, though?
I believe that we are supposed to have a wild card at that artist or at that easel.
I
And
wonder
over
if someone's going to just jump in and paint it like happened in Toronto.
I would love that. I think that that would be such a spicy move. Let me just connect with our camera person here. Chris, would you like to talk about Juju, who is one of our defending champs that is up at the easel right now?
Oh, yeah, we got Juju here tonight. He is the defending Los Angeles City champion, actually, last year. One thing you got to know about him is he travels around a lot, and he's hit up Art Battle in a number of different cities. Last year, he won in Los Angeles to get to the national championship. So he's trying to get back to the national championship tonight. That means we have two painters tonight in this event that were in the national championship last year. We have Paulos and Juju. Who are we
And
with here, Morgan?
we are checking out Ken, and I feel like I already know where this piece is going, but I don't want to reveal it too much. I've just seen Ken paint so many times, and I know kind of where he starts and where he ends up. But right now we're looking quite abstracted.
I see. So you're an expert. You've seen Ken a few times.
Oh yeah, and should I reveal it where I think this piece is going?
No, it's enough that you know. Let's find out later on.
We'll go along for the ride.
Yeah,
But we've got some cool color play going on already with this green against the that kind of brownish red.
yeah, very interesting. Green and red. It's very Christmassy. A little bit late for that, though.
And here we are with Pitez, who is just doing this gorgeous drawing and just dancing this piece of charcoal across the canvas.
Yeah, that's really nice. There are only 5 minutes gone, and he's already like fully sketched out a great portrait here. It'll be interesting to see where he goes with this, though.
And I love watching him place these lines and then rub them out with his hand and push and pull and obscure. And over here with Juju.
You know, now I've seen Juju many times, as you've seen Juju many times too, and he's going for a trusty a painting that he can count on here in this second round. He wants to get to the final.
Oh, I believe it. And we're definitely starting to see the emergence of one of Juju's signature characters.
Yeah, yeah, he's going for his. This is a signature character of his, and he knows that he can knock this one out perfectly. So it's some interesting strategy here, and then we'll see what he does in the final if he does get there. But this is going to be a really tough round.
Oh, for sure. It is a stiff competition tonight, that is for sure.
Yeah, just great to watch. We're just great to watch these guys paint.
And here we are with Arturo, and I'm already really excited about this piece. And look at this almost fluorescent that he's got going on with the orange that's surrounding his character here.
Yeah, I'd like to see this a piece a little more straight on, but maybe as the camera goes uh, through, he's a real art battle veteran already. It's only been a couple of years, but he's been in a lot of events. He's been in championship events, and he really just enjoys painting the most complicated thing he can think of in 20 minutes.
Oh, I know. It always completely blows my mind the level of concept and execution that he brings. And he does these kind of cyborg elements that are so complicated, too. Here we are
Yeah.
with Jane Ramigo, and Jane is bringing us into this kind of pop art space. And again, with the concept, these guys are really putting a lot of thought into their work tonight.
Oh yeah, they've been planning for this since they got invited. They've been planning for what they're going to do in the finals to try and get to the national championships. So much on the line, and every one of them would like to represent Chicago at that level.
And we have the eye of Jane's character just literally melting off of her face. And it's cool to see this grotesque element in an otherwise very girly, poppy piece.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think that we are starting to see the emergence of a portrait here.
Oh yes, from Ken.
I'm seeing just the impression of an eyelid and some brows going on. I think he's putting the nose in right now.
I see. There's a lot of texture. There's a lot of built up in there.
I always have so much fun watching Ken execute because he just really paints in this almost sculpting way. He lays down so much paint and then refines over top of that in various succession. There's almost usually a few paintings that occur within that piece before it gets to its final end.
Yeah, definitely. It metamorphosizes. Now, is this an all charcoal drawing?
I think at this point we are totally into dry media. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Pitches start to add in um, maybe some water to kind of move some of the pigment around at some point.
Yeah,
I know
I
that the
really.
audience can tend to penalize an artist who's working only in dry media.
Yeah, I definitely think so. This is like, people know that it's a painting competition, and artists can do what they like, but you know, the audience has their ideas of what they want to see, and you're right, they want to see paint going down.
That being said, I am really enjoying the line work in that piece.
Oh, I think
And
it's great. Yeah,
some of the points of contrast where he's almost erased some parts. Okay, back with Juju here.
I mean, he just knows how to get the most out of his time here. He always works this way with colorful shapes, and then comes in and captures them all with the dark outlines. Uh, really knows what he's doing.
And it really just makes everything jump off too. We saw last night in New York Dylan starting with a very similar technique of establishing those kind of colored parts and then adding the black line work on top. It's cool seeing that technique being applied in such a different style with Juju.
Yeah, for sure. He has his own style. And I think he travels with paintings and bring when he goes some to an event, he brings some of his paintings with him.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Back with Arturo and our kind of cyborg character right now. The gesture of the body is so interesting with the head kind of jutting forward. And Arturo has just about 8 minutes remaining on this piece, and there are a lot of complicating factors here. But Arturo is such a pro. I bet that he will really start to get into those as we get our minutes ticking down.
Yeah, absolutely. And is this Jane?
Yes.
Jane. She's so tight too.
Yeah, I'm loving. Oh, I'm so happy with that eyebrow that was just put in. Sometimes we capture these moments where I'm thinking exactly what I want to see, and then it happens, and I was looking for an eyebrow, and then we just got one.
Yeah, really good. Really well done. And she's got 7 minutes left. That piece is going to be quite something. And this is going to be a tough round for sure. And only two are going to go to the final.
Two from our first round and two from this round, moving into our four artist final showdown with 30 minutes on the clock.
So exciting. I love championship season. We get to see so many of these amazing events in a row.
Back with Ken here. Oh, and look at this kind of soft expression that is now emerging.
Yeah.
We have almost
Yeah.
this like contemplative look on the face of his figure with the eyes closed there.
And very interesting how messy he's kept it, and it's working for him around the outside. Those original abstract shapes are still there. They're very thick and they're really working.
And Pita's here, continuing to subtract now. I think that he's got a kneadable eraser that he is using to pick up some of that pigment and draw in the negative.
Oh yeah,
Very,
very interesting. Yeah,
and we are officially into our final quarter of the round, our last 5 minutes. And these artists are super committed to what they're doing and are just adding in their final details now. Really, this is the most dangerous part of the game here, this last 5 minutes.
for sure, because you start to speed up, and it's possible that you overpaint or make a line mistake or something. You can see how fast Juju's painting right now. He's still got a ways to go with 5 minutes left on this painting. He's going to add in some other details, I'm sure,
Something that I
but he's
really
just trying to clean it up.
and I really enjoy with Juju about how there's that contrast of this careful line work, and then there's the energy of some of the paint application. Like in the background, we've got that contrast of the tight and the loose.
Yeah, do you think Arturo is going to leave his background totally white, or is that his style, or will he fill it in?
I think that he'll leave it white and that he'll leave the character to be the main focus, but I think we're going to get more hits of that neon that he's got going on as the accent right now.
Right.
Look how athletic Ken's stance is as he's painting. He's in like a full lunge.
Yeah. If he was on a small stage, he'd be falling off for sure.
Yeah, totally. We'll have to warn him if he ever comes to paint in Toronto that there's a pretty big drop off the stage.
That's right.
And I like what you pointed out last time we were around with the energy of the strokes in the outer area of his canvas.
Yeah, it's really loose, but it's totally working there. We come all the way back around to Juju again.
Oh, I'm
Yes, we
pleased
are.
that we're getting some of these nice highlight lines. We get to capture that with Juju. And coming back around to Arturo, looking forward to seeing how he's continuing to tighten up that piece.
Yeah, that's a great piece too. He's always a contender, though. He never does a bad piece. Arturo is uh, really well practiced and does a great job every time.
And it's a rarity if he ever doesn't get into the final. He makes it into the final almost every single event.
Yeah.
So we have just about 2.5 minutes remaining in this round. Make sure that you get registered at artbattle.com/AB2437 and cast your vote for your favorite artist in this round. The top 2 artists from our first round and the top 2 artists from this round will move forward into a 4 artist final showdown and will paint again with 30 minutes on the clock. All of the pieces that are being created tonight are also available for silent auction at that same link. So if you are looking to collect, make sure that you get in on the bidding action there. All right, we're getting this toothy moment with Juju. I think that that's really giving some attitude to our character.
Yeah, this is his hometown piece right now. I mean, he's back in Chicago, and he has this character, this Bulls. I don't know if it's supposed to be a player or a fan, but it's so Chicago. And as he said in his quote, he's happy to be back home after being in so many other different cities. So a little hometown shout out with his piece there tonight.
So cool. Wow, Jane's piece really speaks from a distance with the palette that she's used. It is just screaming off of the easel.
Oh yeah, no, it's a very cool piece, and it's the second night in a row we're seeing mushrooms growing out of the head of something.
Oh, true. I
Yeah,
didn't even catch the mushrooms until you just said it.
Dylan O'Keefe in New York last night. Sort of a similar thing, with a lot more mushrooms. Actually.
Very cool. Very cool. I really like the way that Ken's character is like cocooned within all of these abstract strokes. Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting some paint. Amazing.
Oh, that's good.
In our final 30 seconds. Oh my gosh, what a nail biter.
Come on, what's gonna do? He's gonna drag it, or he's just putting little dots. Come on, drag it. You should just pull out your credit card and drag it.
I know. So hard. Our countdown on the stream might be a few seconds ahead of these guys on site. So we are entering into our final few seconds here. Wow, what a fantastic second round in the Art Battle Chicago City Championships. It is going to be a really difficult audience choice, I think. Ooh, Chris, check out how Pitez finished this piece.
Yes.
It feels very natural and organic, but I'm also feeling like maybe there's a little bit of a St. Patrick's Day nod there.
Yeah, no, could be, but a very interesting piece, and uh, he got down on the floor to finish that piece off.
Oh, check out all the articulated spots on Arturo's piece. We just breezed past it. But for anyone who's wanting to take a closer look at these pieces, we do have up close photos of all of them at various stages of completion at the link that is on your screen. So votes are now open for both rounds, round 1 and round 2. So make sure that you are submitting your votes at artbattle.com/AB2437 and also participating in the auction. We will be back in just a few minutes with our winner announcement, and we will get to see who will be moving forward into the final round of the Chicago Championship. We are just about to go into our third and final round of the Art Battle Chicago Championship. We have Tatiana Howard, Julie Kukrasia, Tenzin, and Pitez stepping up to the easels in just a few moments. These artists will have 30 minutes this time on the clock to battle this blank canvas right in front of your eyes. The winning artist tonight, as voted by the audience, will move forward to the U.S. National Championship representing Chicago on April 1st in Daytona Beach. So we have very high stakes, and the highest stakes round just about to start.
Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make some noise for the
We now have 30 minutes on the clock for our third and final round of the Art Battle Chicago Championships.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be so great. These artists have already done one amazing painting tonight, and now they are up to do a second. These nice gallery stretch canvases here are going to look so good, and of course, they're all going to start off in different ways.
Yeah, it's always so cool to see the first strokes happening on an artist's canvas because it really dictates how they're going to be moving forward in the entire space of the round. For Ken here, we can see that he's placing down many loose, thick strokes.
Yeah, they're all starting a little differently. There's some similarities there, but this is Patiz, and he did a mostly charcoal piece in the second round, and can expect to see something similar from him in this round.
And here we are with Julie, and looks like Julie is taking a different approach from how she completed her first round qualifying. And I'm feeling like I'm sensing a little bit of horizon line action.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on there. So be interesting to see if she is paints a lot of animals. So we'll see if she's going to do that again here in the final.
Oh, I love the way that purple is interacting with the orange. That's such a tasty color moment for me.
Yeah, that's really good. Here, I wonder if Ken is doing a similar piece now.
And Tatiana has done some really broad strokes on her canvas, lots of red going down there, and I think that we're starting to see maybe the beginnings of a face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely could be. Julie has lost her brush.
She's lost her brush.
Yes, she has.
Wild.
Oh, no, she found it.
Okay, good. You kind of need that. We're in an intense round. You don't want to be without your weapons in battle.
Oh, for sure. Artists always bring their own brushes, stuff that they are practiced with and can use to the fullest ability, and they get a little bit thrown off. Now, I shouldn't say all artists. Some are not as particular, kind of go at it with any brush, but for the most part, you want to have your weapon there with you.
And again, with this kind of athletic stance from Ken, he's got this wide stance and has lowered himself so that his face is more even with the canvas. Ooh, I feel like we just saw the creation of an eye socket there.
Yeah, definitely could be.
And over here with Tatiana, and we have larger canvases in this round, and Tatiana is doing a pretty small face overall in the composition. So interested to see how that continues to expand.
Yeah, and here we are with Patiz, who is looks like he's doing a piece that is similar to the piece he did last round, which is a charcoal portrait, maybe with some paint thrown on at the end. We'll have to see how that goes, but it's going to be very well executed. Sometimes the audience likes to see a little bit more variation from a painter, like two totally different paintings. But it depends. If the best painting usually does win.
I'm interested to see what Julie is up to here. I think that this is totally becoming something else that I was not expecting at all. I was thinking we were going to be going into this more landscape area, but I definitely think I'm seeing the emergence of
That's a
a.
dog.
It's a dog?
That's a that's a dog. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a figure. Oh, look at the way that the light is hitting the forehead and the bridge of the nose here and that nice little
Oh yeah.
shadow. Oh,
Really good. I am so excited that we are going to meet one of these painters in Daytona Beach at the national championship. We're going to be there, and one of these painters, we're going to say, "Hey, we saw you win Art Battle Chicago. Way to go!"
oh man, that's gonna be such a fun moment. I can't wait to meet all of our national championship competitors in person and get to know them as people, but also see them do what they do up close and in person. And we're also going to be live streaming the nationals as well, so everyone out there in the internet lands can see it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. April 1st, event starts at doors open at 5, and the painting starts at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So it's going to be quite the showdown, as we saw such an amazing national championships last year. The pieces created were just out of this world, and it's all going to go down on April 1st. But one of these four painters is going to be there.
So exciting. Such high stakes tonight. And if anyone is just joining us or they haven't gotten registered yet to vote, make sure that you register to vote at artbattle.com/AB2437, the link that is on your screen.
That's right. Every vote does count here. We get extremely close voting quite often, and so we are down to counting them out by one or two votes at the most. So do get your vote in there. It does count a lot, and you have a say in who goes to represent Chicago.
Oh, check out the attitude that is coming through in Tatiana's piece. We have two distinct fingers up on her character here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely some attitude there.
And I'm loving, usually we have to wait for Tatiana to start putting in these flowing black lines. But I'm really happy that we're getting to see that at this kind of early stage because that's my favorite part of watching her work. I love the illustrative way that she kind of inks these in almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool. And you're right, she is sort of approaching this painting a little differently than we've seen her work in the past.
Yeah, with the establishment of that color in the background, I feel like she's taken care of a lot of that negative space right off the bat and is now paying more attention to that drawing. So that's how she's decided to use her kind of extra 10 minutes. But I do think that
Mhm.
we're going to continue to see more refinement into the background. Back with Pitez here, and just such a wonderful use of contrast with this kind of cowl that is happening around the head of our figure here. We're getting this really heavy sense of shadow falling across the top part of the face.
Yeah, definitely working out that way. And I wonder, you got to think we're going to see a splash of paint at the end again.
I think so. I think that that was his kind of finishing surprise move, and so I would be surprised if he didn't add paint again at the end. I think that that would also be a really great way to tie in this piece into the qualifying round piece. I often love to see an artist kind of playing within the same theme, doing something that's different, but also having elements that call back to their qualifying round piece.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a lot of similarities here with him for sure. Well, whereas we are seeing a totally different painting from Tatiana, and and hard to tell what yet we're seeing from Julie.
I feel like I was seeing Pitches working with this wide piece of charcoal and using
Oh
the
yeah,
side to kind of carve that in. Oh, it's not a dog.
it's not a dog; it's a lady
No.
with a big hat.
I totally see where you thought that it was a dog, though. That line on the hat almost looks very snout-like.
That's right.
Such a vibrant display here from Julie. We often see her working a little bit more toned down, so it's cool to see her using these very saturated colors.
Yeah, interesting to see this painting develop. I didn't see the development stages of her first painting. I just came in with 3 minutes left, but it is interesting to see how she's approaching this painting right now.
And those polka dots of yellow within the sky are pretty fun as well.
Absolutely. Back to Ken, who is doing a piece that is sort of similar to his first one, although I gotta say it's a little tidier and might be even a little better than his first.
I think the color story for me is more engaging than his first round qualifying piece, just because I love the way that the orange is playing against the purple. I feel like there's a little bit more clarity there, and it's rare to see an artist really doing an even better piece. We often are seeing pieces that are comparable, but it really takes a lot of that art battle skill to do a piece that's even better than their qualifying round.
That's right. You have to be pretty confident to not to do your very best painting first, or to have it just shows a lot of creativity and determination to have two killer paintings and to or put them in the right order to get the job done.
Yeah, it's totally such an exciting moment for the audience when they see that the artist that they voted for, that they're invested in, do an even better painting in the final. It just kind of blows your mind when that happens.
Yeah,
Oh, I love the
absolutely.
stripes that are happening on Tatiana's character here.
Yeah, really interesting.
She's really choosing to embrace the kind of graphic quality of her style within this piece.
Yeah, and she is using the extra time here for sure.
And getting some really nice opacity here. I'm wondering whether or not this is straight acrylic or if she has perhaps brought some ink with her.
Yeah, good question. Can you see what kind of brush she's using?
I cannot, but I have a feeling that it's a pretty long liner brush. That's what I think.
Hmm.
We are just approaching officially our halfway mark for the third and final round of the Art Battle Chicago Championships. So these guys now have 15 minutes only remaining on the clock.
Yep, definitely a long way to go too.
Ooh, we're getting our surprise elements here, I think.
Oh yeah, little indoor safe spray paint.
Ooh, I love that teal color. I can't wait to see that go on. So Pitches is putting on this painted element much earlier than his qualifying round. His qualifying round, we were biting our nails in the last 40 seconds or so, seeing him throw on some color, but it looks like we're getting it now at the halfway point. So no, he's not relying on the pop of color as a surprise element anymore. So I think that that is going to be helping to fold it in a more harmonious way into the composition.
Mm, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. Oh, this piece is really taking shape here.
Yeah, I love the way that our character is just looking up and off into the side. I feel like it really helps you kind of envision yourself as that figure.
Yeah, I think so. It's pretty cool. So you got, I love the red jacket against the blue background. That's so nice.
Yeah, the red jacket is awesome. And with, I think that there's a little bit of blacklight action coming from the ceiling too, so it's helping some of these colors really just jump off of the canvas.
Here we are with Ken, and if we can get a good view of his painting, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm loving all of these strokes surrounding the figure and just zooming off at certain points. It really gives it this unique energy.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty cool, and I think that's definitely a contender here in the final round from Ken.
Do we have a tongue out on our character with Tatiana here as well?
Yeah, I mean it does look that way.
So much attitude. This is this is a bad girl piece. And we can see that she's just continuing in with that careful line work and I think bringing in a little bit of highlight onto the hands now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what she does with the. I mean, she put on that loose background right at the beginning, and it was hard to see what she was doing. Um, but it now it's sort of. I think it needs a little more in the background, so we'll see what she does.
I agree. I would love to see that fleshed out a little bit more, because there are still elements of that raw canvas underneath. I would love to see the blank top corner be filled in with some sort of color. So we now have daubs of paint on the bottom of this piece in red, so a contrast to the green that Pittis was using in the qualifying round. So we've now got three types of media here. We've got the charcoal, spray paint, and now acrylic paint.
Yeah, don't he's not sparing the horses. He's using everything he's got for sure.
Oh, check out the way that the sky is going. I totally thought it was the sky, but now I'm thinking it might be like a field or even like a patterned wallpaper with the florals here. That's so fun. It's almost like a Scandinavian print.
Yeah.
Like our camera person's having a little
All right,
dance
settle
ready.
down. Settle down, camera guy.
Oh, it's not a jacket. She's holding a fish, I think.
Oh, I think you're right.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
That piece is so fun.
Yeah.
This is so whimsical. And I'm just really enjoying all of the additions of these more design based elements.
All right, this piece is looking real nice. Nicer than his first piece, which is a often a sign of a champion. So look out for Ken in this round.
For sure. Wow, that hit. Oh, I'm loving. Oh, I love it. The hit of that yellow on the highest points of the face as the highlight is just everything.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, excellent. We're getting some harmonizing elements from Tatiana in the background here with the addition of these green ribbons.
Yeah. Yeah, some development. It's a pretty good piece. I don't think it's one of Tatiana's best pieces, and I think maybe one of your best pieces is what you need right here. So I'm a big Tatiana fan, but I think that I don't think this is her best piece tonight.
The finals are always a challenge to kind of decide what pieces you want to pluck from your repertoire to represent yourself.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And you got to choose, but you still, fresh always sort of does the trick at Art Battle. Something brand new, something that's been done a lot before. It just doesn't have the same magic to it as something that's within an artist's style, but the first time they painted a particular thing, that's typically where the magic happens.
I'm definitely seeing so much magic here from Ken. There's this emotive quality to that portrait with the closed eyes and the upturned face and the bright yellow kind of symbolizing sunshine to me. Just feels really like a revelation, that piece.
Mm-hmm.
We have 7 minutes remaining on the clock. And voting is now open for our final round. Head to artbattle.com/AB2437 and cast your vote and help us choose who will be representing Chicago in the U.S. National Championship.
That's right. Just one of these painters will be the winner here tonight and will be flown to the national championship 2 weeks from now to compete against the very best painters from across the country. They will also be facing off with last year's returning champion, who is coming to defend his title, Cameron McCool, who is
Oh man.
painting out of Seattle right now, even though we have seen him in Boston and New York also. He is currently in Seattle and is the reigning national champion, and he'll be there painting to take the title home again.
So much goodness. Oh man, check out the way that Julie has carved all of these lines into the bottom part of the canvas.
Mm-hmm.
This is so wonderful to me. I feel like I'm getting all of the things that I really love about Julie's style, this kind of more realist approach, but now I'm getting all of these unconventional elements of design and different techniques of scratching away the paint as well.
Yeah, it is definitely. She's doing a really cool job with a lot of different techniques in there. Ken is having the painting of his life right now.
Absolutely. The only danger I think that Ken is in at this point really is just trying not to overpaint this piece.
Yeah, now he's looking like he's in control. That is always a danger, though. If you especially get a little extra time, don't really need it. Keep painting when you should have stopped. We've seen it before.
Oh, look at that really warm pink that's butted right up against that yellow. What a nice contrast.
Oh yeah, it's super good.
Such a great balancing from Ken of more mid-tones and more saturated colors.
Definitely a lot of saturated colors here tonight, and um, just we see a lot of portraits, and you got to make yours unique, and I think he's done that.
I like this comic book element now that's coming in for Tatiana with the blue highlights that are happening in the hair.
Hmm.
Oh, and that's cool. That's a very cool design element that she's adding. Uh, Continuing the same color that she's used for the highlights in the hair into the green ribbons here.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. She's really managing to make this pop.
I feel like this would make a good album cover.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Oh, and now there's kind of bloody elements being added into the face where the fingers are pulling the eyes down. I would love to hear from Tatiana what the title of this piece is.
Oh yeah, for sure. That'd be really cool to have an interview. A
A
little interview
hammer!
after the round.
Pitches has a hammer. All right, and our winner has been announced. Moving forward to the U.S. National Championship on April 1st in Daytona Beach will be the one, the only, Kenzen.
Wow! Congratulations, Kenzen. Super amazing job tonight. Two great paintings, and you bested yourself with your second painting, which is what it takes to win.
Yeah, it was an absolutely enthralling uh, final in Chicago, and we have such a great artist community there. And we will be back actually next month. I think it is April 21st for our next Chicago event. But make sure that you stay tuned to the stream because we have some more exciting events happening this weekend. We have the Omaha Championship happening tomorrow night, and we will be in Dallas on Sunday. And so you guys will see who are the remaining artists moving forward into the US Nationals as we approach our April 1st date. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching us on the stream tonight and bearing with us as we dealt with camera issues. Chris, thank you so much for your wonderful commentary.
Morgan, my pleasure. You did a great job as always.
And thank you so much, everyone. Congratulations again, Kenzin, and good night.